Let's start with the offseason. Your first offseason with baby Gabriella. How was it getting away from the game a little bit, and how much fun was it spending time with the family?
Yeah, it was great. After the national team, I took some rest. Just spent time with my family, with my little one. So it was very fun.
What's the best thing about spending that time with the little one?
I mean, just being around, just being there. Just watching her grow. They grow up so fast, so just watching her. That's it.
Yeah, remember those words, Luka, because they do grow up fast. Yeah. Believe you me. Let's talk basketball now. You guys got on that hot stretch near the end of last season. It carried over into the playoffs. Y'all found something. When you look back on the season, what do you think you guys found, and how do you run it back?
Just obviously first look at the last season, how we played, especially in the second half of the season. And in the playoffs, obviously we didn't win it, so it wasn't good enough. But just watch that season, the chemistry we had, and then we added some great pieces to our team. So I'm very happy that we did.
What excites you most about having Klay Thompson join this group?
I mean, just the kind of player he is. He's won 4 championships. He knows what it takes to win, and obviously he can shoot the ball very good. So. I'm really excited to be to play with him.
I see the smile on your face already, yeah. Right? It's more assists for Luka. You know it's coming already. You talked about the fact that he knows how to win a championship because he's done it. Obviously, Kyrie has done it. This entire team now has been close. Can you tell me about that experience and what it means to you and your teammates as you try and get it done this season?
Yeah, it was a good experience. Not the best one, but we should use this as motivation. We know how hard it is to even get to the finals. It's a lot of games, and it's very hard to get there. So you shouldn't take it for granted, and just try to win it.
From the outside looking in, it felt as though the chemistry of this team really came together late in the season and into the playoffs. Is that a fair assessment, and how did that help you guys be at your best?
Yeah, definitely. That's 100% true, and that helps a lot. When something don't go right, we have that good of a chemistry to make it work. So that's a big thing for us.
Training camp, what you guys are about to start. What's the most important part? Listen, I know that it's a lot of basketball, it's long, but you guys are working on your craft and trying to figure each other out. As you add that extra piece in Klay Thompson, how important is this time right in front of you?
I mean, it's very important. I remember 2 seasons ago when me and Kai, we just started playing together, and it wasn't the best thing, and then in the training camp we get to know each other, and it was way easier to play together, as for him, as for me. So this start is very important for us, I think, and the chemistry too, to build up the chemistry.
You're a veteran now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who look at you for a lot of things. How do you balance the pressure that comes with that? Because there's so much expectation for Luka Doncic.
I mean, like I said, somebody asked me before that, if people expect something from you, that means you did something good. Expectations are good because people know that you can do it. But there's pressure is different kind of pressure. I've been dealing, if you're talking basketball pressure, I've been dealing with this since my Madrid days, so kind of used to it, and I like a challenge.
Let's start with the importance of spending the time it takes to revitalize yourself for the grind, because the grind is coming. What are some of the things that you as a veteran player in this league make sure that you've done to get ready?
Oh man, I'll tell you, it was such an adjustment period for me after ending the season like mid-June. I wish we'd have kept going and won that thing, but sometimes life will throw you some lessons that you got to be able to maneuver around. So I felt like that was one of them, especially in terms of my craft. But outside of basketball, I was learning how to vacation again, learning how to rest and recover, and be able to travel with my family. I spent so much time being committed to the game and being committed to being the greatest version of myself. I had to be able to spend some valuable time with them. So it's definitely important, especially at my age, to help my family become more aware of different things I got to do to help balance being in season and then being out of season, but also most importantly having fun and being able to be a student of life, being a greater father, greater brother, greater son. So yeah, it's important to get rest all around the board.
I'm looking forward to asking you these particular questions because I know how reflective you are and how much you are a student of the game. You guys found something late last season, and it obviously carried over into the playoffs. Upon your reflection, what did you find, and how do you try and run it back?
Well, reflecting on the season was probably the most difficult task because I felt like we had a great year. We just didn't accomplish our ultimate goal, which is to win a championship. So you're trying to celebrate. I'm trying to celebrate all the small wins. I'm trying to text as many of my teammates, as much as the staff, but also give them their space to be able to decompress, disconnect, and then be able to do their own reflecting. So I think we had some time to get to know one another later on in the season after the trade deadline. We had some new pieces come in. We had some new lineups. We had a new kind of change in framework on how we're going to position ourselves in the offensive end and defensively. So yeah, it was a lot of new things that were coming to us, and I felt like our group really were receptive to everything Coach was saying, everything our GM was saying, and just giving that belief. There weren't a lot of people that believed that we could be in the final start of last year, right? When we started here last time with Media Day, there wasn't a lot of people picking us. We were middle of the pack, which rightfully so. We hadn't proven anything, and it's still the same attitude this season. We haven't proven anything until we play, but we know where we pretty much stack up in terms of the best teams in the world, and we want to be right there between one and nothing else.
Right.
And in order to do that, you got to be able to learn from the lessons, the hardships, the difficulties, the barriers that we went through with the team that we started with, and then also the team we ended with. And now that we're adding new pieces, I feel like our responsibility, our accountability has grown, and we're able to talk to each other a little bit more fluidly because we know some of the guys that are returning. We have a pretty strong core group that's returning, so I feel confident.
From listening to you talk about that, it sounds as though from a chemistry standpoint, you guys did the tough work of digging in and finding out more about each other.
Yeah.
And then being able to enact that and bring it to the basketball court to help you guys.
I agree with that.
How does that further your ability to be at your best as a team?
This year,
yeah,
it feels like we have taken some pressure off one another because of the added pieces. We have guys that have championship experience. I'm not the only one in the locker room per se that's lost at the highest level and won at the highest level. So I know what it's like to lose. I know what it feels like, but I also know what it's like to win and how tough it is. So just managing our realistic expectations and then also being very direct with what we want to accomplish and how we want to accomplish and what we need from each other every single day in order to achieve that. So it's not an easy task, but I know that we're capable of doing it because we have put in that day-to-day grinding work of getting to know one another and also being the underdog, sort of say, or being, the team that's not necessarily picked to win a series, or a team that loses the first game of a series, and now you're going back and you're trying to figure it out because no one else on the team has lost, probably a first game or game 2 or a game 3 or a game 4, or has never been down in a series, right? So all of these experiences are good for us to continue to grow as men, and our whole entire staff and organization to grow as a cultural group that's going to be here for a while in this era that's coming up.
They're giving me a wrap, so quickly, it's you, it's Luka, it's Kyrie, and a bunch of really good players around you guys. When you think about the ceiling for this club, what will it take from all of you to get there?
That's an interesting question because all the pieces have to mesh incredibly well. And like you said, and what you previously stated, just the chemistry and what it took to develop it, that doesn't just happen day one, and or it doesn't happen often on day one. So if we're able to come into camp and find it around day 12, 13, or even day 50, right? I'm happy because the important thing for us is peaking at the right time. We want to be healthy mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically going into the postseason, but in order to get into the postseason, you have to earn your way there. So we have to take every day as a gift and something that we can continue to grow and continue to just develop more nuances of how do we get to know each other when we're in the heat of the battle. I mean, of course, we're going against the good teams, but the great teams, they have a cohesion, they have a chemistry that's built, they have a culture, and they have a trust and a love for competing at the high level. So we're developing that, and I feel like we're there. We just have to continue to show that consistently.
Klay, let's talk about why Dallas was the right fit for you at this point in your career.
The chance to win.
Yeah.
That was very appealing to me. Style of play, seeing what Luka and Kyrie can do with the ball and the pieces we have surrounding them. just seems like the ingredients for a championship. So that's why I'm here, is because the chance to win and try and elevate this franchise as best I can and just be a leader.
You led me to my next question, because when it comes to elevating this team, it's on the court and it's off the court as well. Kyrie has championship experience. You obviously have a ton of championship experience. How do you want to help elevate this team by imparting some of the wisdom that you've gained along the years?
That's a great question. I mean, starts with being a great veteran and realizing how much young talent we have. You know, Derek, Daniel, PJ, Naji. I mean, I go down the list. We have so many great complementary pieces that you need to win a championship. And that's what I've learned throughout my career is you'll have your superstars grab the headlines, but just like in 2011 when Dallas won, that team was deep.
Yes.
And they had incredibly talented players throughout the whole roster. And I feel the same vibe with this team. And I just want to reiterate that when I'm around the guys, like, that's the beauty of winning a championship. It really feels like everyone contributes, and that's a lifelong bond that is forever because of the sacrifice we'll make. So I'm just gonna try and use my voice as best as I can and try and share the knowledge I've gained. That's the best part of being a sportsman, is that you get to pass down what you learn to the next generation.
I have this ongoing argument with one of my friends who's a sports writer.
Yeah.
He tells me that chemistry is not important when it
Whoa.
comes to team sports. I tell him he's an idiot.
Yeah.
When you talk about just how important chemistry is,
Yeah.
and I'm sure having the championship pedigree that you do, you can see what it looks like
Yeah.
when a team's got it right.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's part of what you saw in this team as well.
Well, your friend, I don't know what his argumenting points are, but I disagree with that. I think chemistry is everything. And you can go back to the dynasty of the Bill Russell-led Celtics. Like,
Yes.
the way you hear them talk about their teammates and how much love they have for each other, that only comes through winning and the sacrifice you make individually to win. So I think chemistry is just right up there with talent and teamwork. Like, that's what makes the journey so much fun, is doing it with guys you truly want to see succeed and get the most out of their ability. So I think we're building such a great chemistry here, and I saw that with the finals run this team made last year, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
Your career arc is really interesting, right? Championships, going through the injuries, coming back and doing what you've done. How do you see yourself, the kind of veteran that you are and that you want to be, and what you will bring to this team?
I want to be someone who will lead by example. Because I love to be at the gym. I
Right.
love getting the extra work in, like shooting the basketball, working on my moves is like been my joy since I was a child. And I think that anyone who wants to get the most out of their ability has to have that mentality as far as the passion to work and not being fearful to fail. Because when you do get to the end of the journey, you're gonna fail in sports. Like, no one wins every season. That's impossible. Bill Russell made it look easy though. 11 rings, that's ridiculous. But so you're gonna have to learn from those failures. And then what kind of veteran I want to be? I want to be someone who can be relied upon, consistent, knock down open shots, knock down shots contested. I mean, just do what I've done for the last 10 years, you know. And it might not be at the same level was peak all-star, but still though, post-injury, coming back, being a second leading scorer on a championship team and leading the league in threes, I still know I have so much left in the tank where I can really help this team and add a new dimension to this team.
New surroundings, fresh start, all those things that come with a transition to a new club. When you think about what was most important in you choosing this club, was it the new start?
Yeah.
Did you feel that pull that, hey, listen, I have been here, I have done that for a long time in this
Yeah.
one place, and I need this new start?
Yeah, I felt my time in Golden State was some of the best times of my life, and I'll cherish those for the rest of my life. And what we did there will leave a lasting legacy forever. But I also saw the other side where I'm a big sports historian, so I've seen Tom Brady or Shaquille O'Neal, even Scottie Pippen. When I was growing up in Portland and Scottie Pippen joined the Blazers, that added so much great momentum to our franchise. Like, we never have, at the time, getting a free agent like that in Portland was unheard of. So I saw a similarity in that aspect as far as coming here. Like, I can possibly win a championship, multiple, who knows, don't want to put a cap on it, but can really do something special. And that adds a whole new chapter to the story that's already been written. And that's why I'm here, is because I want to experience that with that greatness again. And we're right on the cusp of it. I can feel it.
Last thing, and I appreciate your appreciation for role players, but you know what the outside narrative is going to be. It's going to be Luka, Kai, and Klay, and what you guys can do. What do you think the ceiling is for that big three, if you will?
Well, our goal is to win a championship, and I don't play this game for anything else. You know, I've experienced it. Kyrie's experienced it. I mean, Luka's experienced it in the EuroLeague, in the Euro Cup. And he's right there. I mean, to be as young as he is, to lead a team in the NBA Finals, it's very similar to what Dirk had to go through. I mean, Dirk was knocking on the door for so long, and then he just had that insane, one of the greatest individual runs in NBA history in 2011. And I see Luka having something similar like that in the future. And I want to help him get there, obviously, but I think we can really win the whole thing if we, if everyone buys in, which we will, and take it week by week, because you know how it's 100 games to do that. So I know what it takes, but it's exciting. It gives me butterflies just to think about.
Let's start with this, PJ. When you try to get ready for a new season, and you know that there's going to be this grind ahead of you, what are some of the things that you have to make sure that you've done to prepare yourself for the grind ahead?
For me, just to get in the best shape possible, make sure I'm healthy mentally, physically, and emotionally, having a good support system, and just being able to come in and get working.
You guys, I suspect, have this kind of carrot in front of you because you got so close last year. How did that affect your preparation, and how do you view the opportunity to try and go for that again?
It's exciting. I mean, it woke me up each and every morning, just ready to get to the gym, ready to get 1% better each and every day. So obviously that's our end goal, and we can't wait to get there.
I'm sure you had time to reflect on what you went through. Are there moments, and I'm curious about this, when you think about the moments, is it more positive or is it more negative when you look back knowing that you didn't get to your ultimate goal?
I think for me, it's positive. I can't look at it as a negative because a lot of people didn't think we would be there. And for us, it's just a learning experience. We felt like we had games that we felt like we could have won and we didn't, so we just got to learn from it, and obviously this is our time to get back there.
Yeah, NBA history suggests you got to kind of go through that to make it to a championship. What are some of the things that you learned from the experience that you think you can take into this season?
Just the detail of everything. I think the finals was great for us to learn about ourselves, how much we can play together, about what we need to do each and every night to get to where we want to be, obviously, and that's the top of the mountain.
In that late season run, when you guys got hot and then obviously into the postseason, I suspect that you found something. When you reflected back on the season, what do you think you found, and how do you run it back?
I think the biggest thing for us was our chemistry. Everybody was as one on the court, and we wanted each other to be happy, and we want each other to play their best game each and every night. So we didn't care about who scored or who made the assist or who blocked the shot, as long as we did it as a team. So as long as we come out like that game one, I feel like the sky's the limit for us.
When you think about what the organization said to you guys as a team when they acquire a guy like Klay Thompson, I think it's significant. How do you view what the organization was saying to you guys as a whole, bringing a guy like that?
We want to get back to where we were. I mean, that's the whole goal, and that's where we want to be, obviously. So adding a guy like Klay and Naji and even Quentin, I think is great for our team, and we're going to be really good this year.
When you think about the experience he brings, and when you couple that with what Kyrie has already brought as a relatively young player, what do you look to gain from those guys. What kind of nuggets are you trying to pull from guys like that?
All of them. Just trying to pick their brains. They've been through everything in the league. They've seen a bunch of different great players. So just to pick their brains a little bit on how they prepare, how they do everything, how they eat, how they look at the game, and how they get their alone time and reset too. So I think it's valuable having guys like that, especially growing up seeing them achieve those things that they did achieve. So for me, I'm just happy as I can be.
You mentioned the phrase that I wanted to talk to you about, growing up, because you are growing up in terms of being an NBA professional, in terms of being an NBA star, in terms of trying to be a champion. How different do you feel having gone through what you went through here last year?
A lot different, a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable, and just ready to go. I mean, when I first got here, I was kind of jittery, not really knowing what to expect, and now I just feel like it's family and I feel at home.
Do you go back and look at some of those playoff performances? Because, I mean, there were a few that you had that you really put your stamp on this team. Do you go back and look at those to try and pull from that how good you can be and will be?
Yeah, definitely. Just in my mentality, I think is the biggest thing for me. Just being able to come out aggressive each and every night, no matter the situation, and just doing whatever I can to help my team win. That's my biggest thing for me, and that's what Coach wants me to do as well.
Daniel, let's start with what you do now to try and prepare yourself for the grind that you know is coming. How do you do it?
Pretty much just everyday repetition. If we're being honest, just come in, get my work in, lift a lot of weights, shoot a lot of basketballs. Because, best preparation is with repetition. And I just come in and I focus on just, what I want to be better at, honestly, and then what I can also do better at an elite level too. I'm good at stuff, but I want to, be elite to where I can just come out and just make an impact for the team.
Yeah, you led me to my next question, right? Because I suspect that there's a carrot out there. Having tasted what you guys tasted last season, how does that make you approach this season to try and take that next final step?
Of course, it puts our head on our shoulders. We come in level-headed. We've been in that position. Now we're just trying to get back to that. So now we have the poise, we have the composure that can help us take the steps in the right direction down the path of success. It might be some failure, but I'm pretty sure we're prepared for all of that.
I do think you're prepared, and a lot of it had to do with the way you guys put together that run near the end of the season and obviously into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I suspect you guys found something.
Yeah.
After you've reflected, what did you find, and how do you make sure you keep it?
We just found a different level of chemistry. Everybody was dialed in. Everybody kind of invested themselves into just winning. Just having that mindset to come out and just, give it all out there on the floor. Give 110%, no matter the outcome, no matter what goes on. If your man scores, you're not going to hold somebody to 0 points, if we're being honest. So just coming out, just knowing that if you want to succeed, you're going to have to fail just a tad bit. Just to get to the point, just to get to the position of just where we were last year. It was a decent amount of just, mental lapses that we had went through. But as a team, we came together and we figured it out.
No, you're right. And NBA history certainly agrees with that, right? You got to go through some of those growing pains to get to that ultimate goal.
That's a fact.
When you think about trying to get there, man, y'all got another big piece in Klay Thompson. What have you found out about getting to know Klay a little bit so far, and what do you think he can bring to the team?
Main thing is he can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Really, just, but other than that, just a different type of, leadership. Adding on with just, Kyrie, the championship, I would say mindset that he brings to the team, because he's been in a position to where he's won it, he's gotten close, or, so on and so forth, and just kind of like bringing that next level of just the mindset that we always talk about to the team. Just, some type of just maturity around the team that just helps us, kind of like piggyback off of the atmosphere and the vibe that he brings to us,
As a player who's still trying to reach their optimum level, what are some of those little nuggets and things that you're looking for from a player like Klay Thompson? And I'm sure you went through the same thing with Kyrie as well.
Just picking their brain, just getting as much advice as I possibly can. They've been in the battles, they've been in the wars. I remember most of the time I've watched both of them playing against each other in the battles and the wars. So it's just, finding ways to just kind of get on that same level. I want to, be one of the best in this league, and to be able to do that, you got to ask questions and learn from those questions. If you learn something or if you don't, and just having patience, honestly.
When you think about what the organization said to you guys as a team, acquiring a piece like Klay Thompson. What does that mean to you guys?
I mean, it means a lot, because it gives us just another piece that we need to be able to make that next step to get back to where we were last year.
I'm curious the takeaways from getting where you got, knowing that you were close, but knowing that there is still more that you can and have to do to win the championship. When all was said and done, what did you take away from it?
Just, you always gotta have something left over in the tank. And I mean, me personally, I felt that I took a step back when it came to just, the physicality and everything whenever we were in the finals. And just to kind of, reiterate what I went through, I always go back and I watch and I learn from just, the mistakes that I made, what I did good, and I try to be able to kind of like implement that to the pickup games or to practice, something that can just help me be better on a day-to-day basis to where I can just, like I said, make that impact for the team. I want to be able to come out there and just, be some type of factor on the floor for the other guys that are out there because they're giving 110%, so I want to be able to do the same thing as well.
Was there one thing that you really learned that you like, okay, this is what I'm honing in on, that one thing that you pulled from it?
Honestly, I just wanted to get my body right.
Yeah.
I wanted to gain some more. I wanted to gain some more weight, of course, throughout this summer. Put a little bit more muscle on just to be able to come out and just, withstand that long stretch of basketball that we play. So just being able to do that this summer was great. And just coming into this season, the mindset is just, be better. Be better than the day before, be better than the play before, all of that.
How much did you put on? Do you know?
I think last season I played close to 245. I think I'm 265 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, that's significant, right?
Yeah, me and my guy Sean Hamlin, we were in L.A.
Yeah.
Working out pretty much every day, lifting a lot of heavy stuff, throwing a lot of heavy stuff down. Just pretty much just the mindset was, just obviously just, get bigger, just get better. Have a mindset of just being a little bit more physical and just making sure the body can take care of just all the weight that I'm putting on too.
Let's start with when you found out that the Mavericks wanted you and y'all came to a deal. What was your reaction and what did you think about joining the Dallas Mavericks?
Honestly, it was like a dream because I remember watching the finals and just thinking about if I was out there, the things I could do, contribute to, and just the full circle to be able to play for the Mavs again and get that same opportunity, kind of with the same team is like I said, is a dream.
You know that, there are people who look from the outside in at what your game is and what you could do. But I'm curious, how do you describe your game and what you could bring to the Mavericks?
It's a dog. Anything that they need, anything they're missing, it's a dog, whatever it takes, man. Yeah.
First of all, I love the dog analogy,
Yes,
first of all, because we need dogs,
Yes, sir.
especially in this sport, in this grind. How do you define a dog?
Somebody who's willing to do anything by any means. Somebody who's passionate, plays with their heart, really loves the game. And like I said, just willing to get it by any means.
Can you talk about the pieces that are here when you think about a Luka Doncic, a Kyrie Irving, and a Klay Thompson? I mean, that had to get you going as well.
Passers, shooters, scorers, facilitators, shot blockers, rebounders, defenders. I mean, you name it, we have it. So like I said, it's a blessing and it's a dream come true. You don't get many opportunities to be on teams this good, and I'm just thankful and ready to take full advantage of it.
When you think about the opportunity that exists to try and make a deep playoff run and try and get back where this team was last year, what are some of those key ingredients that people might not see on the court but have to be there in terms of team chemistry and that kind of thing? What are those ingredients as you see it?
I think discipline,
Yeah.
being consistent, the mentality you have, knowing you want to make it back and not just go but win. It's this, and like I said, just being consistent. Yeah, just doing all those three over and over and over and over again. Eventually, time will go by, you just see yourself in a good spot. And, we got enough talent here, to compete with anybody. So once we add that consistency, the discipline, and just keep doing that over and over again, I feel like the sky's the limit.
If there's one particular area that you can make your mark on this team, what is that particular area?
Defense, for sure. Just being another guy who can hit an open shot, just playing hard. So whatever the team's missing, to be honest, like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what it is, I can do it at a high level, and I want to get the job done. I'm just excited to start.
Man, you seem excited. You seem like you're ready to go right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.